Hey, you! Yes, you! Ever feel like you're a failure? Or that your alarm clock is your worst enemy because waking up feels like a punishment? Does life feel like a blank canvas, except you have no idea what to paint? Well, if you answered yes to any of those, I've got news for you. You haven't found your Ikigai. But what is Ikigai, you ask, squinting with curiosity? Ikigai is a Japanese concept meaning reason for being, or, to put it simply, the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning without hitting snooze 17 times. Now, if you're thinking it's too late for you to find your Ikigai, then think again. Giorgio Armani and Christian Dior launched their brands at 41. Darwin published On the Origin of Species at 50. Henry Ford rolled out the Model T at 45. Reagan entered politics at 53, and Colonel Sanders fried his first KFC chicken at 62. And you thought it was too late for you. So, before you go all dramatic and decide to quit mid-journey, let me tell you this. That's the dumbest move you can make. Instead, dig deeper. Your Ikigai is out there, waiting to be discovered like hidden treasure in a sea of self-doubt. Everyone has an Ikigai. Some have found it, and some, like you, are still on the hunt. Here's a little secret. You don't have to be a billionaire, an inventor, or a rock star to find your Ikigai. You might find it in the simplest things. Being a good parent, helping others, or even in your own backyard, tending to that tiny herb garden you keep forgetting to water. You know what's making it hard to find your Ikigai? Your phone. Yep, our modern lifestyle has thrown us into a whirlpool of distractions. Instagram likes, TikTok trends, and Snapchat filters have us all comparing our lives to others. Social media says, if you're not rich, famous, or on a yacht in the Mediterranean, you're not living your best life. Spoiler alert, that's a lie. Take a lesson from the residents of Ogimi, Okinawa, Japan, where people live longer than anywhere else in the world. The authors of the book Ikigai, Héctor García and Francesc Miralles, conducted extensive interviews of the residents of the rural town. So, what's their secret to such a long life? Healthy food, exercise, and, more importantly, happiness and contentment. Their advice: don't worry, stay busy without burning out. Nurture your friendships, be optimistic, find excuses to smile and laugh often, stay close to nature, and most importantly, find your Ikigai. Not once did they mention get rich or die tryin'. Nope. Their wisdom revolves around meaningful, everyday joys, like saying hello to people on the street or dancing with friends once a week, celebrating every little occasion together, living an unhurried life, doing something for your community, lending a helping hand. But you must remember that in Okinawa, the secret to eternal youth isn't just diet or sunshine. Imagine a place that faced unimaginable loss in World War II, yet somehow turned the other cheek, not out of denial, but out of wisdom. Their motto? Fall 7 times, rise 8. Resilience isn't enough, they're anti-fragile. Why waste time on bitterness when you can bounce back stronger? Life's a juggling act between enjoying pleasures and not letting them boss you around. Buddhism and Stoicism remind us, don't fear change, embrace it. Face your worst fears, let go of what's beyond your control, and focus on what you can change. Remember the Japanese wisdom, find beauty in imperfection, wabi-sabi. Savor each moment that will never ever come back, ichigo ichii, and follow your reason for being, Ikigai. Life's messy and unpredictable, just how Nassim Nicholas Taleb likes it. Even stress has its place. Too much is a silent killer, but just enough can keep us on our toes and our brains buzzing. So step out of your comfort zone and thrive. After all, too much comfort is bad for your health. Now let's talk about the flow state. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually when you're so immersed in what you're doing that time flies by. Like when you're binge-watching Netflix and suddenly it's 3 a.m. But I'm talking about productive flow, people. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, the psychologist who coined the term flow, said it best. Flow is the process where our pleasure, delight, and creativity are at their peak. So, the secret is to do things that bring you to this state, not those things that give you a quick dopamine rush, like you looking at Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, you think you're multitasking like a pro. Think again. According to Clifford Nass at Stanford, the present generation is suffering from an epidemic of multitasking. It's not helping your productivity. It's lowering it by 60% and lowering your IQ by 10 points. So, if you want to find your Ikigai, ditch the multitasking, focus on one thing at a time, and see the magic happen. And guess what? Even one of the richest men in the world, Bill Gates, washes dishes. Yep, every night. He creates his own little set of playful rules, plates first, then forks, then spoons. Not because he has to, but because it's his version of micro-flow, a tiny slice of peace after a hectic day. So, how do you find your Ikigai? Start by asking yourself, what do you love doing so much that you forget about everything else? What's that one thing where you lose track of time? If you don't have the answer, explore. Try new things, satisfy your curiosity, develop new hobbies. Remember, it's not just about passion, it's about being in a state where time seems to stop. And speaking of flow, take a sushi chef in Japan who's been perfecting the art of making tamago, a sweet omelette, for decades. It might sound boring to us, but he's completely immersed, completely happy, losing all sense of time. This is his Ikigai. So here's the takeaway, folks. Don't worry about the outcome. Find happiness in the doing, not the result. Because as the book Ikigai says, the happiest people are not the ones who achieve the most. They are the ones who spend more time in a state of flow. So stop waiting around for life to hand you a purpose on a silver platter. Go out, explore, be curious, and most importantly, find your Ikigai. And remember, flow is like a muscle. The more you train it, the more you'll find yourself living a life full of meaning.
We touched on a few chapters, but there's much more to know. Read the complete book to let the wisdom flow. Turn pages, chase dreams, erase every doubt. Until next time, a bookster's signing out.